Dash. We came as soon as we heard. Oh, it's real nice of you to show up so timely. And just save that phony excuse. You obviously took your sweet time getting here.
Simply judging by the fact that the rest of us have already been here for like an hour.
What's been keeping you?
Well, it is true. I was forced to make a stop on my way here. But I still want to point out that I am not too late, figuratively. I merely took a detour of sorts, but I was indeed here in this hospital since even before you were.
A detour? I hope that it was something really important and unavoidable, because that would be the only justifiable way to make this not a complete bitch move.
Oh, Lord, I suppose it depends on the perspective, but let's say, to me, it was. When I arrived at this hospital, I was struck with a sudden burst of inspiration.
And that translates to what, precisely?
It means she suddenly had an idea for some pictures for her OnlyFans and promptly broke into the nurses' break room to steal one of their uniforms.
Sweetie, what did I tell you about the S-word? I do not steal. I simply borrowed it. I even put it back where I found it.
Perhaps, but nevertheless you took it without permission and remodeled the break room to a photo shoot set. All for this totally trite motive of a sexy nurse. And to top it all off, you forced me, your Philly's sister, to take your explicit photos for you. Posing in your torn nurse uniform and presenting your rear straight in my face. And I absolutely did not agree to do this, or be exposed to this view. It's like you visually raped me.
Oh, please, that argument doesn't work against mayors. Besides, I did nothing but my work. Who does bring food to your table, young Philly? I forbid myself to hear you complain essentially about having a filled stomach.
Rarity, shut the fuck up! While it comes as no surprise that you would once again steal the spotlight, because that just reflects your narcissistic character, today isn't about you. So stop making it that!
You asked me where I had been. I simply answered you, imbecile.
But I didn't ask for your typical first sketch minute that does nothing but fill time!
What is even so important that we all had to come to hospital? Is it Pinkie Pie again?
No. Rarity, I'm standing right here. I even talked to you already.
Oh, right. Well, but you can't blame me for assuming that. Old habits and all that.
Oh, while we're at the topic of old habits, weren't you once known as the element of that insignificant little thing called generosity? Because it would be really generous of you if you could just stop keeping the attention on you and allow us to move this forward.
Bia! Then what is the really important matter that urged us to gather here?
Thank you! Now even if you don't actually care, I'm gonna use explaining the situation to you as a pretext to give the viewers a load of exposition.
How very robotic of you.
Well, actually not really, because the situation can basically be summed up in one single sentence. We're here because Scootaloo is in intensive care after Apple Bloom shot her in the last episode.
Hey, what? Sweetie Belle, did you hear that?
Yeah. Why are you acting so surprised? Shouldn't you have been the first pony in Equestria to hear about this? You know, with your whole Candlelight contacts and stuff.
I should have. But I have not.
What? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Rarity! You're doing it again! Taking the spotlight! If you don't mind, save that genuinely interesting plot point for later. First we have more nonsensical arguing to do.
Fine. But how did that even happen, the situation with Scootaloo? How did little Apple Bloom end up shooting her?
Well, that ain't so hard to explain. It's actually pretty simple.
Apple Bloom, didn't I tell y'all to keep her snoot shut? Isn't it bad enough that you stole my fucking dueling revolver and almost killed some pony?
Oh, come on, stop acting like what I did was more messed up than it really was. You're talking like I was supposed to have known that Phillies usually don't wield firearms. I mean, like, what world we live in? I honestly believe that that's what you've been doing all the time when you referred to dueling, Sweetie Belle. You know, the more I hear you insisting upon that, the more I actually believe you're serious. Though I don't know if that now makes it easier, or even harder to forgive you. What kind of fucked up filly do you have to be to consider the use of a gun for fun and games a sensible decision?
Hey, now hold the fuck on, little one. I agree that Apple Bloom messed up real fucking big time. But don't go falling into stereotypes now. 'Cause despite what happened, y'all gotta give her some benefit of a doubt.
What? What benefit even?
Well, her friends really could have specified that they were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards for starters. And also, with you acting as the referee, you should have maybe noticed that something was off. Or not. Like, y'all must have seen when my sis put on her bulletproof vest. And that thing about going back to back and taking 10 paces didn't at all strike you suspicious?
Oh no, you will absolutely not attempt to turn the blame on this accident on my little sister.
Oh, just you wait. I'm so gonna. Because it's true, Sweetie Belle was the only one who could see both of them when she counted their paces. And since I know that my sis is a cheaty little cunt, she surely tried to suddenly pull out her gun prematurely around the 6th step.
Hey, that's a fucking assumption!
More like a conclusion based on all the times us two dueled. And will you shut the hell up? I'm trying to defend you here.
That's nice and all, but I won't take being slandered like that. I'm an honorable duelist. If anything, I sneak in a pull around
Applejack, I'm going to stop this nonsense right here now. You will not load the blame for this mess on my little sweetie, no matter what deranged excuses you want to bring up.
Does there even have to be any blame at all?
What? What the fuck kind of question is that? Of course it does.
Are you sure about that? I mean, what exactly did go down? Entirely logically speaking.
Are you kidding? You know what happened, and you even agreed with us before. Why did you suddenly decide to switch sides?
I didn't really. I just decided that we're doing nothing productive by playing the blame game. If we want to blur out any and all emotional attachment to this situation, what do we even have? Sure, an accident that is very easily to track back to Apple Bloom's possession of a gun in her obliviousness. But let's look at it from a more universal angle and ask ourselves if this blame is even applicable in the grand scheme of things.
What even is the meaning of that sentence, Twilight?
Yeah, even I am nothing but confused right now. What is it you're trying to say?
What I'm saying is, I don't think Apple Bloom is to blame for having this false assumption she had. Frankly, had I been in her hooves, I might have also pulled the trigger.
So basically you're confessing to us that you're actually a psychopath.
No, you stuck-up fools! Think about it. Ever since that whole conspiracy arc with Celestia ended, what has been happening in Equestria that was even remotely of actual impact?
What about that cozy doll arc?
You mean the one that even Robotus himself scrapped in the middle of making? You cannot really count that.
Yeah, she actually has a point with that. I also noticed that it's been quite a long time since anything of actual value happened here in Equestria. But what is the reason for that?
Maybe it had something to do with that whole story arc that was recently going on in the human world. As far as I know, Robotus had a finger in that pie, which might explain why things have gotten so relatively harmless here lately.
And what does any of that have to do with this ordeal? I mean, this here is anything but harmless.
What I mean is, Apple Bloom had no reason to expect for her reckless behavior to have actual consequences.
Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense, Twilight. So y'all see, ain't no point in blaming my little sis for something she couldn't have predicted.
Exactly. And like I said from the very start, I really did think she'd be wearing a vest. I never would have shot her otherwise, honestly.
So, can we not maybe just check that off as a really unfortunate turn of events and move on?
No.
No?
You heard me right. No. I don't care if there was a reason for her to be so careless. My little sister is in ICU either way.
Actually, she isn't your sister, remember?
Fuck off.
Excuse me, young mares.
Oh, doctor, how is she? Is she all right? Will she make it?
No need to worry. The worst is behind her. She is no longer in immediate risk. She is even conscious at the moment, so a visit is indeed possible. But only for one pony at a time, so we don't overwhelm her. Would you like to see her?
Of course. Just 1 second. Don't think this discussion is over just yet, Applejack. Your sister is not of the hook.
Hell, y'all really can be so resentful.
Just saying, this topic is not off the table. All right, I'm ready now, Doctor.
Good, then follow me, please.
So, it seems we're expected to now perform some sort of filler joke, seeing as the camera stayed with us.
Aw, shucks. And here I thought I could use this opportunity to go for a shit.
Really? Toilet humor. My, aren't you just the peak of comedy gold?
Oh, fuck you! Like you got anything better to offer.
Literally just the sentence is already better.
Hey guys, someone's coming through. We should make room.
Wait, on that stretcher is that? Chrysalis?
There she is. Twilight.
Easy now, easy. Excuse me, Princess Twilight. Do you know this patient?
Sorta. She's the nemesis of one of my friends.
Of course she does. She's the one who did this to me.
I what? What do you mean? Did what to you?
Everything. All that my life is right now. Don't play dumb on me. You sent your Mary Sue friend back in time to alter reality and made it so that I was squashed by Robotus falling from the sky instead of your pink scatterbrain.
Me? Oh please, I'd never get hit by something falling from the sky. My twitchy tail always warns me in time.
Oh, but you were, and I used that to take your place. But when she found out, your pathetic purple princess just decided to cheat and alter reality all out of pure spite.
Look, Chrysalis, it's not like I don't believe you, as that very much sounds like something I would do without hesitation, especially to you. But I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't you dare lie to me. You do remember. You must know what you did. And you take satisfaction in torturing me like this, making me feel like I'm the one who's insane. But my mind was never clearer, never before than this very moment. And I will not forget the way I was treated today and all those before, ever since my awakening. Like some sort of mental patient, like a psycho, when in reality it is everyone else who should be locked in a psych ward. You're all living a lie. You hear me? A lie!
I'm sorry, I should have known it was too early for that intense of a trigger after the trauma she suffered. Please excuse us. We need to hurry to her room. It's alright, Chrysalis. Your therapist will be waiting for you right by your bed. And we'll be bringing in a new set of meds for you, which will help you see things calmer again.
I don't need a fucking therapist, and I don't need fucking medication. All I need is my freedom to take revenge on those who wronged me. How stupid are you if you can't understand that? They ruined my life, even before that, and all I wanted was revenge. And I will have it. I swear. I swear. I swear.
Well, that was certainly an encounter. But I must say, Twilight, you've shown an impressive level of coolness with her. Pretending like you don't remember what she accused you of. Honestly, that made even me feel a little sorry for her.
What do you mean pretending? I really do have no idea what she meant. I mean, she was talking about reality changing in a Marisu, so it probably had something to do with Starlight. And if it really is what happened, of course I wouldn't remember it. No pony would. Because now, it never actually happened.
That time traveling shit's always been too high for me.
Darling, you're back! And how does it look?
Well, as far as the injury prognosis goes, the doctor is confident that she'll fully recover. Luckily, the bullet passed right between her lung and heart, without damaging either. However, he also made it very clear that such a near-death experience is almost guaranteed to take its toll mentally.
Well, so much for the medical side of things. But what we really care for is, what does she feel like? Did she by any chance mention who she blames? Because that might just help us settle our dispute on who's really at fault here.
Oh, Twilight, I am just so moved by your genuine empathy and worry for her well-being.
Me too. It's one of my countless virtues as a princess.
And no, she didn't say anything about that. All she did say was that she doesn't blame Apple Bloom for what happened.
Wait, she doesn't?
The fuck's wrong with her?
What are you complaining about? That's a good thing, damn it!
Well, I wouldn't say that. It was less that she doesn't think you're responsible for the accident, but she rather said that that was simply to be expected. Given the type of pony that you are. Ouch. I mean, it is no doubt true what she said, but still, ouch.
So I guess that's that, then. Scootaloo said that it wasn't my sister's fault, so we can put this fucking discussion to rest now.
We most certainly cannot. I will not back down until you say to me with conviction that my sister was not to blame for this mess.
Fine. Sweetie Belle wasn't to blame, but neither was Apple Bloom.
A law that I can get behind.
So we can call it quits here. This was just a tragic accident. Ain't no pony's fault, this.
Actually, yes, it is. And I'm talking about you, Applejack.
Me? What the fuck? Why am I suddenly getting the blame?
Well, that revolver your sister used was yours. Why did she even have access to that?
How the hell should I know? I didn't give it to her if that's what y'all saying.
Well, in that case, you were reckless enough to leave it somewhere your little sister could easily find and take it.
I don't believe what I'm hearing right now. I will not stand for this fucking audacity.
It's
As if it is my
hardly an audacity
responsibility
rather
to
than a
constantly
simple
look after what
consequence
my
of
sister's
logical
doing with her free
You're
time.
her mother figure.
And by the way,
You're
my gun was
responsible for
safely
her.
stored
How can
inside
you not
my
get
room,
that?
hidden under my
Your
pillow.
room, you say?
And Apple
Wow,
Bloom always
that is
respected
such a
the
good
boundaries
place.
of her
Hey, what
sister's
is- hey,
room.
your sister
Applejack,
is Jack
don't
Rainbow
say
Jack.
that is my
You're to see what's actually
responsibility.
important.
Don't
My fucking God, fine. Then just keep wasting your time and acting like idiots.
Come on, Apple Bloom. Let's go outside. I need a break from this thick air in here.
You sure? Can we really just walk away from a running sketch? I don't think it works like that. Either that, or the camera will be following us. But it's less the sketch itself, rather than these two fools. Like, how did they manage to make this completely obvious question of guilt into such a polarizing conflict? Yeah, gotta agree there. Even I see that this whole shit show is mostly my fault. Which I don't even find all that bad, honestly. Mistakes were made, sure, but we do make them to learn from them, don't we? Well, not according to these two. Come on.
That's over now.